Quick voiceover before the video starts. This tutorial is pretty long but made to hopefully be easy to follow. Regarding when part 2 is coming out, I have no idea. These take quite a while to record and edit, and it really hurt my voice talking for about 2 hours straight, which lots of it got cut out to make the video shorter. Stay tuned for the next parts. Hello YouTube, it's Silver, and this is going to be part 1 of this truck tutorial. It's probably going to be 2 parts, or 3, really depends, it's not that big. But maybe the trailer will be a different part and the truck will be a part. Maybe the truck will be 2 parts and this will be a third. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to split it up yet. Maybe even build the whole thing today. But I'm going to be using my voice today just because it's not really as complicated as the RV. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But lots of people are struggling with that one, so I thought I would use voice to announce things better. So if I place this, I could say, place the compress block facing, like, I don't know, just this way, with negative 0.5 transparent. You know, I can actually talk about stuff, maybe make it a little easier. But before I start building, I'm just going to do a quick little showcase. So when you first spawn it in, of course you're going to turn off these stupid buttons. You'll see there's gaps at the top of the door, so you're going to press quote to fix this door, and press right bracket to fix this door. Then left bracket will open this door. It does kind of get a little bit stuck, you can see, but it works, so you know, it is what it is. And then you press colon or semicolon to open this one and quote to close it. You open them both up. It's obviously not to scale, it's a little bit big in here. But if you go back here, there's an interior. You can kind of see some of the yellow, but it's not too bad. It's mostly finished in here. Nice wood paneling, some lights, the airplane show on the TV, and a nice bed. Of course, you can always add more to this. It's just quite basic. In here is all yellow. I didn't really try to make an interior of this part. If you go ahead and press R, the engine start sound will play, and then the engine idle sound will play, and this smokestacks will turn on. You can press L for the lights there. I usually keep them off because they don't shoot forward. They light up kind of in a circle. I don't like that. So back here, you can press Y to open the fifth wheel trailer hitch. It's just WASD controls. The steering steers like normal. There's no rockets or propellers. So if we go ahead and drive over here with the trapdoors down, then we can back up right into here. Then you're going to press Y to lock it in, and P to remove the trailer legs, and then you're good to go. You can press E to open the trailer doors. These will not be included in the tutorial. These were just a little joke, but I did save them. Anyways, let's get into the tutorial now. I think that's everything. There's also a horn. Alright, so do mind, I might be a little slow because of this new UI. I don't know where anything is, so I might be looking for it. But we're going to start off with some ballast tanks. These ones here. We're going to place them so the lines are vertical. We're going to place 6 of them, not like that. Place them just like this, and just move them up a block. This move tool can be glitchy sometimes, so maybe have your patience with it. We're going to paint it 88, 88, 88. Alright, then next we're going to go to this block section, I'm pretty sure, yep, and we're going to grab this quarter wedge. We're going to place them facing this way so they're flat with this. We're going to place 4 of them so they stick out by 1 on each side. Then we're going to grab a half block and place it facing this way. Then we're going to paint it this. I think this used to be the default gray, but it is not anymore, so make sure you type this in because the default gray is now 127. And make sure you paint them all. Alright, now this build does use some motor lock here and there, but it's mostly compressors. If you want, we're going to use motor lock, but if you want to use compressor blocks instead, you'll turn transparent and can collide, even though you don't have to, and just leave the default distance. Anyways, you're going to grab a motor and turn off power, turn on lock. I'm going to place 2 here and 2 here, so you're going to start on this bottom one right here on the corner and come out towards this half wedge. or not half wedge, a half block. Then you're going to build over here and delete this motor, place another one, another few. So you should get like this, and there's a gap right here. These ones are not connected to anything. And you're just going to do this again, deleting this one, placing two more right here. Then you're going to grab cylinders. You're going to place one right here, make sure they're facing this way. Then you're going to grab this 236, 240, and you're going to paint these ones here. Then you're going to grab 66 on all of them, just like that, and you're going to paint the rest of them. Just like, if you don't have the drag tool, you can just paint like this. And you should have that, and we can place down a seat if you want. If you save it, it should be 28 blocks with the seat. Without it, you'll have 27. If you spawn it in, turn that off, you should get it looking like this. This next step is just a small one. You're going to grab a motor like this, turn off power, put on lock, place it, make sure the flat part is on the top and the motor part's down here. Then you're going to grab a half block and place it facing towards the back, just like this. Then you're going to paint this motor 88 all the way through, so it's a little bit lighter than these ones. Then you're just going to grab this yellow and paint the half block. Alright, next we're going to go all the way to the bottom, down here most of the way. You're going to grab a wedge and place it just like this so that it's not attached to this half block, so it's got this gap here. Then you're going to grab a speaker. If you have speakers, then you're going to go ahead and place it facing down, and you're going to make it R, pitch 1, volume 1, fade 0, velocity affected 0.1, toggle is on, looped is off, listen to mic is off. And you're going to enter this ID, which if you can't read it is 539093293. It might be in the description if I remember to put it there. After you're done that, we're going to go ahead and look for a round wedge, because I don't know where that is in this update. So we're just going to take a little look around here. Oh, it's down here. So we're going to grab this round wedge out, not in. It's way at the bottom here. And place them on either side, just like this. Then you're going to grab the same yellow we've been using and just paint this all yellow here. If you do not have, sorry, I forgot to mention, if you do not have a speaker, in this case, it is okay to just place a regular block here. It won't change anything, you just won't have the sound, obviously. And then when you save, you should have 34 blocks looking like this. Alright, then we're going to go to the top here, get block, and place one right here, so that it is connected to this half block. Then we're going to go grab half blocks again, and place it here, so make sure you do not connect this motor to this half block. Make sure it's facing this way, so it's nice and flat on the outside. Then you're going to rotate it the opposite way and place two of them here, so it's the opposite of this one, so that if you place something, don't actually place these, but if you place anything here, it will not be attached to these half blocks, okay? Then we'll paint them yellow. Okay, then we're going to grab half block again, place them facing upwards like this, so that you can still see the bottom of these blocks, and it's nice and flat on the top. Then we're going to turn them and face them the same as these two, just like this, but we're going to place a third one coming down a little further than this. And we're going to come on this side and place only two of them, just like that. And then we're going to grab a half wedge up right here and face it so it's connected to this one, but not to this one. Just like that, and we'll keep it white for now. After placing this, you should have 47 blocks, and it should look just like this. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and grab the same color that we have on this front piece here, and paint these. Then we're going to go, I think, here. Oh, maybe not. We're going to try to find the wing lights. If you know where those are, then you can skip me trying to find them. Here it is. And you're going to place it so that the arrow is facing your name over here. So the arrow should be facing forward when you place it. And so you notice when you place it, it's long this way, and it's short this way. So it's long, and it's short, okay? So do not place it like this, with the arrow up or down. You don't want that. So go ahead and place those two right there. Then go ahead and place these two right here. The same thing, facing forward. And then go ahead and place these ones also facing forward. Then we're gonna go to the paint, we're gonna press C, and if it bugs like this, you can try and see if it will work. It does not work, because this game is bugged. We're gonna try it again to make the wings metal, but don't make the half block metal. That was a mistake. So you're gonna make those wing lights metal. And if you accidentally make anything else metal, just put it back to default. Then we're gonna go press Z and get back to the painting. And we're gonna paint both parts of these wing lights just the same color as this. But since they're metal, it's gonna look a little darker. So just like this, paint it up, just like that. And then you should have 53 blocks. Alright, so next we're gonna come back up towards the front here. And on these two, we're gonna place a cylinder right here. So it's going to be a block away from these ballasts. We're going to grab a motor. We're going to open the settings, turn off powered, and turn on lock. We're going to place one here, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to place a fifth one right there, but not a sixth one. We're going to go back here, grab another cylinder, and place it facing this way. So just to recap, we have this cylinder facing upwards to these two motors coming out. Make sure they're facing with the plate here and the plate over here. Same thing moved backwards, so it should be in line with this cylinder. Then you place another cylinder facing sideways with this motor right here. Then we're going to grab this color, or the same color as this, or sorry, not that. The same color as this motor here, and we're going to paint this all. Except for this one's going to be different, actually. Or maybe they're all, I don't know, I'll double check the paint. Well, it doesn't matter right now. Then we're going to grab these ballast tanks again, and place 3 of them right here, and paint them 88 all the way through. Alright, so that's my bad. This one is also painted 66 all the way through. So these are all 66, don't worry about that. Anyways, next step, we're just going to grab a half block and place it right on top with the same paint as these wedges right here. If you want to spawn in, just to double check that it's all working, you should get it looking like this, but you want to turn these lights off. So you should get it looking like this, and there's going to be a little bit of a gap right here. This is how it should look from behind. If I can make it stand up straight, this is how it looks. And you should have 64 blocks right now. Next, we're going to go ahead and set the keybind of this to keypad minus, which will be, if your keyboard has a numpad, it will be on the very right of your keyboard. It's just the regular minus symbol, but when you press it, it says keypad minus. If your keyboard does not have a numpad, you can just put any button that you don't use. So for example, maybe you would put something like right control if you don't use that, because you are not going to press this button. Set the range to 0, brightness to 0, flicker to 0, and powered is on. Then you're going to set that to all of them. Just like that. So you can press C to copy it from the first one you did, and then press V on all of these to paste them. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab yet another motor, turn off powered, turn on lock, so it's a motor lock, and you're just going to place it right here with the plate on the left side from facing this direction. And it should be right in line with this cylinder here. Then you're going to paint it with 66 all the way through. Then we're going to grab this quarter wedge from the half block section and place it, not there, sorry. We're going to place it right here on this motor, so it's facing like this way. Then we're going to grab back up here to the ballast tank, place one on it with the lines being vertical, and make sure there's 3 of them lined up with this. Then you're going to go back to the blocks and place a half block on top of it, just like the other one. Then you're going to paint the ballast tanks to 88 all the way through, and the top one to 161, 165, 162, just like the rest of these. If you want to save, then you should have 70 blocks right here. If you load it in, you should have this gap all filled up with these lines. It might glitch when you look like this, it doesn't matter. So it should be looking like this. Quick intermission here. Ever wondered what goes on between cuts? Well, here it is. Okay, let's figure out what's even going on in this mess. Holy me trying to figure this out, bruh. Next, we're gonna come down here and get the round wedge out again. And we're gonna place them right in line with this one. We're gonna place 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Then we're gonna place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna delete this one and this one. So you should have 1 gap, gap, 2, 3, 4, just like this. And we'll paint them yellow, just like that. Next, we're gonna place half blocks. So if we grab a half block, place one right here and one right here, just like that. Then you're gonna grab a half wedge down and switch it. So press Z or click on this arrow and just get the regular one. So it's just a single block. Then you're gonna place it with the arrow facing up on this side. So on this side, it's flat, and on this side, you have a wedge going like this, and you can paint it yellow. Alright, then we're going to come back and grab a regular block and place it right here. Then we're going to place a half block, just like this, so on the outside it's nice and flat, and on the inside it goes inwards. Then we're going to grab block again and place 2 of them, just like this, and paint them yellow. Sorry that I'm doing this in such small sections because this area has lots of like wedges and half blocks and wedges, and it's kind of really difficult to remember exactly which ones go where when I'm trying to copy it. But if you go save, you get 85 blocks. Alright, then we're going to come back and place 1, 2 blocks right there. And then we're going to go back to half wedge down and press Z or click this arrow to get the small one. And place it facing this way and this way right here, so they're kind of like funneling into this block here. You see that? Facing that way. And when you save, 89 blocks. Moving on to the other side, it is mostly the same. So with your half wedge down, 1 by 1, the small one here, you're going to place it facing with the arrow forward. You're going to press Y and place it with the arrow up. You're going to press Y again and place 2 like that and remove this one. So you have this nice shape again. Then you're going to place a half block and a half block. And here is where it's a little bit different. Instead of placing a full block right here, we're going to place a half block right there. And then we'll grab our blocks and place 2 right there. So you should have it shaped like just like this on this side. See? And we're going to go down here to the wedges and place a wedge right here, facing just like that. So on the top it's nice and flat. Then we grab our regular blocks and we place 1, 2, 3, just like this. So you have this kind of shape right here. And you can paint them yellow. And we can go ahead and save for a nice 101 blocks. Okay, then we're going to go back down to our wedges again. You're going to rotate it to face this way. Place 2 of them right here, so on the top it's nice and flat, but on this side you have this wedge going down in here. Then you should have this 2x2 hole with this one block missing here. And of course this block here is missing as well. Alright, then we're gonna go up here, back to the top, grab blocks and place 1, 2, 3. Just like that, paint it yellow, and it should be nice and flat here now. And then we're gonna scroll down to a half block and place it just below this one here. So you've got a block below and 2 blocks up here. Then you're gonna get a quarter wedge and place it on the sides just like this, sticking out right there. And then we're gonna go looking for full half wedge. Didn't even realize it was named that now. And we're gonna place it just like this, so this flat part is touching the ground. And then we're gonna go back up to the top, half wedge down, get the small one, and place it right here. So this sort of makes the shape of a 1x2, except it's off the grid. So like, just for example, but don't place this down. If you were to get a 1x2, it's exactly the same, it's just off the grid, right? Paint them yellow, and then that's it. And when you save, you're gonna have 114 blocks. We're gonna come on here, and we're gonna move this up by 1 block, just like that. Alright, so after talking to this guy while I was just deleting some stuff because I accidentally recorded a bunch with my mic off, we're going to come here and place these 2 wedges right here. So half wedge down, and make sure it's the small one. We're going to place them right under this half block, facing like this. Then we're going to go 2 blocks over and place it the other way, right there. And then we're going to place 2 like this, and 2 like this. Now, if you look, we have this kind of shape going on right here. On both sides, just like this. It should stick out from the truck by 2 blocks right here. And then you're going to go ahead and grab half blocks, and you're going to place 2 right there to connect them. Plates here, and place them on these wedges, and not on that one, sorry. So just like that, 2 in the middle, and 2 right here. So on the inside, we will have this nice flat, kind of like in area. This goes flat, and then it comes in and back out, just like this nice shape. And on the front, it's nice and flat, except for these 2 blocks are missing, which is perfect what we want. Then you're gonna go paint tool, grab the metal, and just make all of everything we just did. This is all going to be metal, just like this. So get some nice angles for you here. Maybe help you a little bit if you didn't see how to place these. And then we're going to go ahead and grab half wedge 2, and we're going to place it with the flat part on this wedge, just like this. See that? So it goes nice and curves right here. And on the front, it's a little flat spot. You're going to place 2 of them, and on this side, place 2 of them, and yes, you should connect it to this half block. Next, you're going to go half wedge down, press Z or press the arrow to get the small one. Place 2 of them right on top right there, so you get this nice curve. You're going to grab half block, place 2 of them, and half blocks over here as well. Then you grab 200, 200, 200, and paint all of this bumper stuff right here. Nice. Then you're going to grab the yellow we've been using and paint it up just like that. When you save it, you should have 148 blocks. And then we're going to get the half wedge down. Press Z or press the arrow to get the small one. Skip this block right here and place them so that you'll get this shape going on. You'll place it over here as well. Then you'll grab the half wedge too and do it just the same with the flat part facing down so that it's smoothly connected here. If you have it placed like this, you just have to press Y 2 times to flip it around. Then underneath it, you're going to place 2 half blocks just like that, and just like that. Then you're gonna go find full half wedge and place them so that it's like this. See how it's lined up with these half blocks? And you're gonna place them all the way across. Then you can paint everything we just did the same yellow that we've been using the whole time. Just like that. So now you have this kind of almost finished wheel well here with some gaps in it, and that's just how it should be. And now we're going to start using our first compressor blocks for this build. So you're going to grab compress block, press the configure button. We're going to turn transparent on and can collide off. Then in this slider, you're not going to slide it. You're going to type negative 0.04, just like that. Click enter, and then place it facing just like this. So the plate part is right here, and this end part is right here in line with this. You're going to go ahead and place that right here, and right here. All with negative 0.04. See, all of them should have that. Then you're going to click configure in the menu again and slide it all the way to the back, and make sure that after you let go it stays at negative 0.5, because sometimes you slide it and it might be at negative 0.483 or something. You don't want that. It has to be negative 0.5. Then once you get that, you don't have to press copy. Make sure transparent is on and can collide is off. Then you'll place it connecting to these ones just like a motor lock. So just like this here. Next, you're going to grab in the wing section, delta wing, and click Z or press the arrow to get delta wing one by one. We're going to place that one there, this one here, just like that. And we'll go ahead and place the other one, right, just like that, and like that. So you get this kind of shape here. You can paint these, and then when you save, you should have 178 blocks. You're going to place it like that, and like that. So you got this kind of like shape going up. And then you're going to do the same on this side and paint them yellow. So this first one will line up with that, and this one is going to make this like a wedge shape. This is so that from the outside it has this curved shape, but on the inside it's empty so that it has more space for the wheels to turn. Then you're going to go ahead and click the light bulb, click text, not assign, click text, and the default is 1x2, and that's exactly what you want. So make sure this arrow, you see how there's like a gray part of it that you see? Place it just like this, so that this says configure to edit on the, it looks like it's attached to this and this. And then you can do it on both sides. Then you should press the airplane. You can press W, this little W button to turn that off. And what you should see, the text actually disappears by itself now, so you don't have to change it. If you leave it configured to edit, it will be completely invisible. And so, like I said, you should have this nice shape with the gap in the middle. And on the inside, it's empty. And it should be perfectly flat on here. So this is how the entire thing should be looking right now. Next, we're going to grab a motor, turn off power, turn on lock. We're going to face it down like this and place it right here. So a block behind this cylinder right here. Then you're going to find the quarter wedge, this one here, and place it facing like that. Then another one like this, so you have this kind of shape right here, whatever this is. Then you're going to paint this one right here as 133, 133, 133. And you're going to paint this one as the same as these ones here. Then you're going to grab the yellow and place it on this motor lock. Then you're going to grab this half block and place it like diagonally from it, like this. And you're going to place 3 of them. Then after that, you're going to go grab the plate and place 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. You should have this thing going on here. Then you will grab metal material and make these half blocks and these plates into metal. Then you will grab the 200, 200, 200 and paint these just like that as well. Now, when you save, you should have 194 blocks. When you press the airplane, your bumper should now no longer have a hole in it. It should be nice and flat, except for on the inside, it's going to look like this, with this one sticking up here. Next, we're going to hop inside here real quick. You're going to grab another compress block, click this settings. You're going to turn transparent can stay off and can collide on. You're going to set the distance to a positive 0.42. And the slider should be around that location right there. Then you're going to have it facing this way, you see? And we're going to place it. We have this wedge, and this block. You're going to place it on this block here. And you're going to paint it yellow, just like this. Next, still in this area, we're going to grab the quarter wedge again, right here, and place it in this orientation right here. See, so it's not attached to this wedge because it's a wedge, and it's not attached to this because it's half, so it's not connected here. So this should only be connected to this compressor in this orientation. Then right underneath it, you're going to place this one. So it's right under it, and it's not like this. Do not do this. You must place it this way. Then you'll grab our next compression block, press the configure button. Transparent off, can collide on, power is always on these, on my builds. You're going to set the distance to negative 0.04. So that's negative 0.04, and that's just like a period, right? And you're going to place it in this orientation. You see how it's connected to this wedge here? Nice little flow, and we're going to paint this all yellow. So you should have this kind of thing going on, whatever this is, you know. Next, you're going to go to the wing section and grab a trail. Then you're going to place it, see how it's flat on the ground? You're going to place it right here in this orientation. So from the bottom, it's flat. And you're going to place another one facing up like that. So they are connected. You see how they're connected right here? You're going to paint this one 161, 165, 162. And you're going to paint this one the same yellow we've been using. Then you will set them to keypad minus or whatever button you chose earlier that you're never going to press. Lifetime 0, transparency 1, power off, toggle off. And set that to both of these. Then when you spawn this build, you should see that this is just a little bit away from here, and pretty much right in the center of this. In front, it looks like this, And if it does not move at all, or the build recs, you have to double check that you have wedges right here. You have this wedge, this wedge, and this wedge, and these are half blocks, and they have to be half wedged down. So, and then when you save it, you'll have 200 blocks. The next thing we're going to do is grab the regular block. Right on top of these half wedges, we're going to place 2 blocks. And then we're going to grab, where's the wedges down here? And we're going to place 2 wedges right there. So it should be looking like this 2x2, and then these wedges going in this way. So in here, it's nice and flat. The next thing we're going to do is grab a compressor. We're going to click this one. Either you press C or click this button right here. Then you're going to press this hammer, go here, and press V or click this. So the settings from that one should be copied. Transparent off, can collide on, positive 0.42. You're also going to place it in the same orientation, but you're going to place it in this corner instead. So you see where this is, the old one's right here, this one is just like this, you see. Then we are going to grab the quarter wedge and place one right here and right here. Similar to this one, but upside down. We're going to paint them. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy this one, copy, grab a compressor, and paste them. So negative 0.04, transparent off, can collide on, place it right here. And then after you place it, same thing as the other side. You place a trail right here and trail right here, just the same as the other side. Copy the settings over to here. Make this one yellow. Copy the setting from this one. Or the paint from this one. Then when you spawn in, it should be the same as the other side. Just like this. And if you want to go ahead and save it, 210 blocks. Next, we're going to come back to the front to these 3 ballast tanks. We're going to grab a compressed block and place it right here, painting it yellow. For the settings, you're going to transparent off, can collide on, positive 0.05. Positive 0.05. Then you're going to grab a motor and turn off power and turn on lock. This build is a weird mix of motor lock and compressors, but you can change all these motor locks to compressors if you want to. So after you have these, you can go and paint them yellow. Next, you're going to light bulb text, press C or press the right arrow to get text 1x3. Then you're going to place it here and then here and delete this one. So you have this one coming here, then you're going to place one more right there. You see how this goes? Again, you do not have to edit them because they'll automatically become invisible if you leave them blank. Alright, then we're going to grab quarter wedge and place them in this orientation with the arrow facing up. 2 of them right here and make them yellow. Next, we're going to grab yet another text 1x3. So you're going to grab the text, press C or the right arrow to get 1x3. And you're going to place it, place a temporary one right here. And then another one right here. So you get this one right here. You see that? The way it is, it lines up right with where this one is actually. Then you're going to go ahead and grab a quarter wedge yet again, and place it right there under it, facing the same way as this one. Then you're going to grab a half block and place it facing up so that it is flat with the rest of this. Paint them yellow. Grab a half wedge up. Use the 1x1 version that's default selected and place it right here so that it's going down like this. And when you save, you have 221 blocks. If you press the airplane and spawn in, you should see you have this little thing sticking out, and it is just a little bit further back. Same for, you're going to see this little thing sticking out as well, which is perfectly normal and how it should be. Next, you're going to grab a text 1x2 and place it right here. It is very important that this text is facing the way it is so that it starts at the top and finishes at the bottom. Configure to edit. So the bottom of all the letters is facing towards the truck. The top of them is facing away. Then I'm going to paste this in here, and I will paste this in the description. This will be text. Let's see. Is there any other ones on this one? This will be text number 1. They will, because there's going to be a second one, and I think there's going to be 4 of them in this video. So this will be text number 1 in the description. If you want to try to type it yourself, it is this orange diamond, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces, I think. I might have miscounted, which is why I'm going to place it in the description. So it should be just barely sitting above there. Next, you're going to grab text, press Z or the Z or the left arrow to get 1x1. Then you're going to place it on the other side of this, see this orange one. It is, yet again, very important that the bottom of these letters is this time facing away from the truck, and the top of them is facing towards the truck. Then we're going to paste this. This will be text number 2 in the description. Again, this will be text number 2. If you want to try to type it, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces followed by this orange diamond here. And they should be right lined up with each other. You see that? Now, if you save, you will have 223 blocks, and when you spawn this in, you should get that this little diamond is like right on the front and back of this trail here. And if this is sticking through, that's alright. That's just, I don't know, it doesn't stick out from far, so it's just kind of like a bug. And that's how it should be, though. Next, you are again going to grab a text, press Z or the left arrow to grab a 1x1 and place it right here. And again, very important, bottom of the letters are facing away, top of the letters are facing towards the truck. Configure this, and I'm just going to paste this here. And also, I forgot to tell you what the sizes of these are, 52. This one's 100. And this will be text number 3 in the description. Text number 3. This one is going to be 1 space. Is this a space? Oh no, that's just a really small square. It's going to be, a small white square, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. I'm pretty sure, but again, it's going to be in the description, so if I'm wrong, just copy and paste it. Text number 3 for this light here. Next, we're going to come to this other side right here. Grab our compress block, place it on the bottom facing this way, and put transparent off, can collide on positive 0.05. Positive 0.05, right? Paint it yellow. Grab motor, turn off power, turn on lock. Place in this orientation right here and paint it yellow. So the plate is over here and this plate is over here. When you save, you will have 227 blocks. And next we're going to be doing a pretty similar thing to the other side. You're going to grab a quarter wedge, place one just like that, then go ahead and place some like this and delete this one and place another one. So these will all be facing the same way, with this one here, a space, and then these ones over here. You can paint this yellow. Grab half block facing up, just like this, so it's nice and flat. Grab a half wedge up and place it here so you get this curve. And after that, we're going to do the same thing as over there. Now, what we can do is take that one so it should face bottom of the letters away, top towards for this one. And then let me just test this one before I tell you anything really quickly. Alright, this one will be bottom of it towards the truck, like this, top of it away from the truck, and then these will, you can just copy them from this side. They will be exactly the same on that side. Then, let me just test this real quick. Alright, you'll place this one with the bottom of the text facing towards the truck and the top of it facing away, and you can just copy this light over. Nice and easy, nice and simple. You need this half block to go right here, and this quarter wedge to go here, so that you get this kind of shape leading into this here. Now if you save, you'll actually have 237, and when you spawn it, sides should be the exact same over here. Next, you are going to go ahead, go to the gears, and get an angle lock. You go to the settings, transparent is off, and can collide is on. The angle should be set at positive 24, and when you place it in this orientation, make sure that the arrow is facing to the void. You're going to place this right here. And to double check that it is facing the right way, when you click on it, this yellow line should curve upwards. If it's curving down, switch this to negative 24. If it's curving up, then you're all good. You can go ahead and paint every part of it yellow if you want. Next, we're going to grab a text 1x2, which is default selected, and place it like this. So edit, or to edit is on the angle lock, and configure is going towards the front. Then you'll place another one right behind it. Grab a trail and place two of them right here, connected to this text right here. You will paint it the same color as this right here. And you can grab the settings from this one to make sure it's set on nothing. Then you will grab a wing light and place it, make sure the arrow was facing either left or right, not up or down. And then you'll paint it also the same color. And you can go ahead and grab the settings you used for those ones over here and just paste them in here. Now, if you go ahead and save, you have 243 blocks, and when you spawn it in, you should see this nice little bit right here, connecting the front headlight now. And then we'll build the one for the other side now. The other one is pretty much identical, except for how it gets attached to the truck. So you will grab text 1x2, which is the default selected, and place it so it's coming down from this motor lock right here. Then this camera angle may be a bit tricky, but you will come in here and place another one, so you should have it going like this. See that? And then place, one more right here so that you now have this full little line of text coming down. Which should give you a spot right here to go ahead and place an angle lock. You can grab the settings from the other one. If your line is going down, then switch this to -24. If your line is already going up, that's good. That just means that you placed it different rotation, and that's fine. As long as this line is going up at 24 degrees or -24, if that's needed. Then, just like the other side, grab your text 1x2 and place one right here. Same way, going forward, one right behind it, leaving you this space to grab a trail and place two of them right here. And just as well, grab that wing light and place it yet again with the arrow either facing right or left, but not up or down. So left or right, just like that is fine. You can steal the color from this one or from this part if you would like. Paint the trails and paint both parts of the wing light. Then you can copy the settings from your other trails and lights and just bring it over here so that those don't emit any light or any trail effects. Now, when you go ahead and spawn in, all the text will disappear, and now both of your headlights are connected with some little supports there. So the build should be looking like this so far. Next, we are going to go ahead and grab a full cylinder here, and facing it up, place two of them right on this half wedge going out. Same on this side. Then you'll grab a half cylinder and place it on top. So it should be like this. Then you will grab the material tool just by going paint and pressing C or the right arrow. You'll grab metal and make these two metal right here, but not the top one. Go back to the paint tool and grab 200, 200, 200 and paint these two. Then you can use this grabber and grab anything yellow and make these top ones here yellow. Then you will go ahead and grab a compress block, change the setting here, turn transparent on, can collide off, power stays on, and make the distance 0. Then you should be able to place it any orientation you want, so long as it is right below this cylinder right here. Just like that. And when you save, you should have 260 blocks. For this next part, you're gonna wanna, I have no idea where these are, but you're gonna wanna grab a pontoon. Here they are. You're gonna wanna grab the pontoon front. And there are two ways to place it. The way you would want to place it is so that this V shape is connected to the truck and the round shape is connected to here. Same for the other side, though if you do place the V shape on this side, it does not matter. It will look just as well. You can paint it as 55, 55, 55. Now, if you do not have pontoons unlocked, you can just simply switch it out with a wedge just like this. Next, we're going to grab a motor, click the screwdriver for the settings, and turn power off and lock on so that it is a motor lock. Then we're going to build a small tower, starting on this half block that we already have placed previously. So just like this, if you place these wedges correctly, this motor will not be attached to them. Then you can continue placing so that you should have a stack just like this, perfectly. Then you'll place one here, temporarily one here, delete this one. Continue up, just keep rotating them. Now you should have a second one, just like this. So it's starting down here, where you cannot see the bottom one. It comes up, goes back, comes up. Then we'll place a temporary one here, delete this one, and place one. Then we will grab cylinders, and you're going to place one right here and one right here facing that way. Yes, it must face that way. Then you'll grab 66, 66, 66, and paint all of the motors except for this top part right here. And once you have done that, you can go ahead and grab any yellow block and place yellow on there. And of course, paint that if you missed it. When you save, it should be up to 278 blocks, looking like this. Next, you want to come to the top, grab a block, place 2 of them just like this, and then grab a wedge from down here and place it just like this. So you have this nice shape here. Grab any yellow and paint them up. Then you will go ahead and grab a speaker, place it here, and this will be speaker ID number 2 in the description. You're going to place it with this. It is not the same as this one, as you see. So this code will be actually down in the description. You will set the button to R, pitch 1, volume 0.8, fade 3, velocity affected 0.1, toggle on, looped on, listen to mic off. Then you can paint it up. Next, we will grab the round wedge out, place 1 on the speaker just like that, and place 2 on this side right here. Now, if you do not have a speaker in this situation, it is alright to just replace it with a full block. After saving, you should have 285 blocks. Next, you will come down to Game Passes, grab the speaker. You'll place 2 facing outwards and 1 facing outwards there. Then you'll place 1 here facing inwards like this, and 1 here still facing out. Then 1 behind it facing in. If you do not have speakers, these are all good to be just placed as normal blocks. Paint them all yellow, and you should have 291 blocks when you save. Alright, and to my previous statement, if you do not have speakers, just do not place a block here. Just delete this and have nothing here, only if you do not have speakers. And for this speaker right here, I will link this in the description as ID number 3. Keybind should be H. Pitch 1, volume 0.65, fade 0, velocity affected 0.1, toggle off, looped off, listen to mic off. Next, we have this one, which will be H, pitch 1, volume 1, fade 0, velocity affected 0.1, toggle off, looped off, listen to mic off. This ID will be in the description as ID number 4. This next one, this one right here, will be W. This will be in the description as ID number 5. Pitch will be 1, volume will be 0.9, fade will be 1.4, velocity affected will be 0.1, toggle is off, looped is on, listen to mic is off. This top speaker right here, I believe is the same as this one, so just copy this one and paste it over. This bottom one here will be S. This will be in the description as ID number 6. The pitch is 1, the volume is 1, the fade is 0, velocity affected is 0.1, toggle is off, looped is on, listen to mic is off. And this will be the last speaker for today anyways. It has the same ID as this W, so it will not be in the description. You can copy it over. You will change it to S. The pitch is 1, the volume is 0.82, the fade is 0.2, velocity affected is 0.1, toggle is off, looped is on, listen to mic is off. So, just to get a quick recap of all the speakers if you have them. This one here, I'm not going to say all the settings, I'm just going to show them. Because I don't want to say them all again, my voice has had enough today. Alright, then this one up on the top. This one on the side right here. This one right beside it here. This one on the bottom. This one on this side. This one on the bottom here. And this last one right here. And once again, if you have them, of course save them all because that's a lot of work. We'll launch it up and do an audio test as well. So let me bring this a little closer. When you press and hold H, you should hear this. When you just press R once, you should hear this. With the idle sound continuing to play in the background, which I'm just going to shut off by pressing R again. When you press and hold W, you should hear this. And letting go of it. When you press and hold S, you should hear this. Letting go of it. And there you go. That should all be working just like that. If it's not, go double check all the IDs and settings. Alright, next we're going to be using a bunch of half blocks here, so go ahead and obviously grab them. On this side here, you're going to place one facing down and paint it yellow. On this side, you're going to place one facing on the side here, facing sideways. So it's flat here. Then out from here, we will place 3 of them in this little shape going forwards and paint them yellow. Same thing over here, and you can just delete that really quickly and paint it yellow. Right, then we will come grab a full block and place it right here, painting it yellow. Then we will grab a compress block, edit it, and you'll change it to positive 0.46. Again, that's positive 0.46. Transparent is on, can collide is off, power is on. Then you're just going to place them facing out like this. And of course, when you spawn in right now, you'll see that your wheel wells are finally complete. And that the top of this as well, has been for a while, is now filled up. So we are almost done with part 1. We just have a little bit of work to do to make the inside of this staying hollow, whilst on the outside still taking the shape of a half wedge. Right, we're going to be using lots of compressors now, so we will grab our compress block, change the settings. You're going to want to turn transparent on and can collide off. Then you will click this and set it to 0. Then facing it upwards, place one right there and one right here. Then you will change the setting here to positive 0.3 with these checkboxes being the same. So again, that's positive 0.3, and place it right under these ones, painting them yellow, as pretty much everything else on here. And when you save, 306. Next, we're going to continue with the compress blocks. You are going to turn transparent on, can collide off, and set it to negative 0.04. Again, that's negative 0.04. And place it facing just like this on this bottom one right here. And same thing on the other side. Then you're going to open the settings back up and drag it all the way to negative 0.5. After dragging it, make sure it stays at negative 0.5 and doesn't move. Then you can rotate it the opposite of this one and place two of them just like this. And do the same thing on the other side as well. Just like that. You should have that shape now. And when you save, you should have 312 blocks. Next, you will grab your compress block one more time, change it transparent on, can collide off, and set it to 0. Then you will place it just facing downwards like that. Next, you're going to grab this angle lock, set it to can collide off, transparent on, and set it to negative 25.5. It should be facing backwards this way. If it is not, you can either change this to positive 25.5 or delete it and rotate it. So if it's facing forward, just switch it around to make sure that this is facing backwards. Then you will do the exact same thing on the other side, again making sure that it's angled backwards. You can paint it all yellow, just like that. And when you save, you should have 316 blocks. Then, from any existing trail, go ahead and copy the settings from it. Grab a new trail and apply the settings you just copied to it, which should be looking like this. Then, coming up to this angle lock, you're going to want to place this trail facing towards the back like this, and painting it yellow. So it should be in this orientation where it's nice and flat with this side of the angle lock. Place it on both sides. Then you're going to grab a compress block and change it to transparent on, can collide off, and keep the default distance. You're going to place it under this trail, facing out from the truck like this. Then another one facing back. And you're going to go ahead and do the same thing over here, facing out of the truck and facing back towards the back of the truck. Then you're going to change the setting to 0 and place another one facing the same direction and another one. And then one more right on top. And same thing right on top. You can paint them all yellow. And in just a moment here, I will just quickly go over this one right here, this one right here, and this one, and this one. Then go to your blocks, find the half plate, and place it in this orientation right here, with the arrow facing forwards, so it should be like this. Then the same thing over here, arrow facing forwards, just like this, painting it yellow. Nice and easy it should be. Go ahead and save it, spawn it in, and we'll see how it looks. Looks good. It takes the shape of a half wedge now, which is exactly what we wanted from it. So that is perfect. You will notice this little gap, and that is quite alright. That is exactly how it should be looking. And you should have 328 blocks. Next, we are going to work on the steering mechanism. So we're going to come inside of here and grab the quarter wedge, which is right here. Place it right here on the front, facing forward over here. Painting it yellow. Excuse me, we're gonna place a compressor on distance positive 0.2, transparent off, can collide on. And we're gonna be facing it down like this, see? Paint it yellow. And you should have 330 blocks. Next, we're going to grab another quarter wedge and place it in this orientation right here on that compressor we just placed. Just like this, so you should have this kind of thing going on right now. Then grab motor, turn into a motor lock by turning off powered and turning on lock. Place it facing down and one right here facing up. Then you're going to paint these all 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. And just move the build up about, see what I mean? 3 blocks if you can, just like that. And when you save, you should have 333 blocks. Next, while we're down here, we're going to place a half block just like this so that it's nice and flat on the front and it's dipped in on the back here. Go and paint it. Then you'll grab a motor, turning it into a motor lock by turning power off and turning lock on and place it right there. Then grab your compress blocks, modify it here, turn transparent on, can collide off, and leave it at the default settings otherwise. And then place it right there. Then you're going to change it to positive 0.5, positive, and place it facing up like that, and paint it all up. And you can go ahead and save with 338 blocks. Next, you're going to have your compress blocks again, turning transparent on and can collide off, leaving the distance at negative 0.5. Then you'll place it facing outwards like that, one into it, one outwards, and one back in, just like you should have this now. Go ahead and do the same thing for the other side, just like this. Then you can go ahead and paint them all. And once you're done painting them, making sure you got it all, you can grab a motor 2, set backwards to A, forward to D, make the speed 2, max torque 650, max angle will be 30, tolerance will be 20. Turn on servo, turn off toggle, and turn off inverted. Then you're going to place it with the little yellow cylinder facing the front of your plot on the very end of this compressor block right here. Do that on both sides and paint it up. So they should be sticking out by one block right here. And when you save, you will have 348 blocks, yay! Next, we're going to do a little bit of text work, so we're going to need to place 4 text 1x2s on each side. So to start off, we're going to place 1 here, the second one right here, the third one right here, and the fourth one right here. We can go ahead and do the same thing on this side by placing the first one right here, the second one right here, the third one right here, and the fourth one right here. Thanks to Rick, we no longer have to change these to a period on size 1. They will be invisible if you leave them at their default settings. You can now grab a compress block, modify it, turn transparent on, and can collide off. Switch the distance to 0. You will then having them facing the back, place them on the bottom of the fourth text, or next to this third one right here. Then you can face it up and place two more just like so. Paint them up, and if we just take a look at our text one more time, they go up and down and then back up, connecting to these compressors here with this sort of L shape going on. And when you save, you should have 362 blocks. And we're almost done here, everyone. We're going to grab a motor, modify it, set backward to S, forward to W. Speed is 12, or if you want to make it lower or higher, you go ahead. Torque is 30. Power is on, and everything else is off. Go ahead and place it facing inwards to the truck so that the plate is facing away. Then you're going to flip it around the other way and then change backward to W and forwards to S. Then you will place it right here, same as the other side. Now, since this truck uses the 4x4 cylinders, we do have to use a little bit of motor locking to actually line up the wheels with the motors. So we're going to still have our motor, revert it to its default settings by just going back over to it, turn off powered, and turn on lock. Place one facing down and another one facing down right here. Just like that. And now that we are so close to being finished, we're going to grab a text 1x2 and place it on this motor lock right here. Just like that. Then steal the setting from any other trail on build, copy it, grab a new trail, and go ahead and apply those settings to it, so that it does not leave any trails. Then you'll place it facing the front of the truck, like this, on both sides, painting them up, so they look nice. Then you should go ahead and grab a motor, change it to a motor lock by turning off power and turning on lock, placing it right there, and placing it right here. And you can go ahead and paint them up. And we can go ahead and grab a cylinder, press C or the arrow until you find 4x4, where you can then place it on the ground so long as you have moved your build up at the same amount as mine. To confirm, you can be sure that your motor is up and to the right from the center of the wheel. The center of the wheel is right here, so mine is up and to the right. And on this side, of course, it is up and to the left. Go ahead and save that at 374 blocks. And then you can go ahead and grab the material and change it to fabric and paint it full 000 black. Now, you can save it to 374 blocks, spawn it up, and your motors will likely do this. This is because you do not have the rest of the truck holding it up, so they are wobbling. But if you try to turn and they turn, then that is good. The wobble will be stopped in the future when there's actually, more wheels attached to the truck. But we just have a couple of little details to add now. Now we are going to place a text right here with the C on the bottom. Same on this side, C on the bottom. For, this one will be in the description. I have lost count of how many there are, but if you look in the description, it'll be obvious. It'll be the one with the slash on it. And for this one, it might tag me if I try to change it. It's just gonna be the other slash. There we go. Just like next, we're going to place more text, one right here with 2 being towards the bottom. Same thing over here. And then this will also be in the description. It should just be the same as these. Oh no, it's a little bit different, so it'll be in the description differently. These ones will be labeled as indicators because we will paint them orange just like that for indicators. And these ones, I don't remember what these even are. I think they're hood latches. But they won't be labeled because I don't remember. They will be in the description though, all of these different texts. And you can check down there for them. These ones will just be painted black. And just like that, we are done. If you want, you can temporarily add an anchor block somewhere, maybe like here, just temporarily, so that you can test your wheels a little bit better. They're still going to wobble, which is fine. If it has problems with that, once it's fully built, I will make some adjustments to help with that. But they shouldn't wobble once the whole thing is done, if you're worrying about that. If you want to put it down and see if it drives, it sure does. And it flips over. I hope you enjoyed. This was part 1. I don't know when the next part's coming out, because the raw footage of this one is over 2 hours, so it takes quite a while. I still have to edit it and upload it as well. Add all the stuff in the description, and who knows how long part 2, 3, and however many there are, who knows how long it's going to take, so. But I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next parts.